What's a wholesome secret you have? My dad always retells stories and a few sentences and he'll ask, have I told you this before? I always say no, because I love hearing him tell stories. And he loves telling them, even when I've heard it so much, that I have it memorized. When I was little I used to secretly put my money in my parents' wallets, so they could have it without knowing. When I was little, I actually did the opposite of this. My stepdad died in January. June 23rd would have been their 20th wedding anniversary. She has been so down since his passing. Also knowing the things he did to prep before he became bedbound. Taking her car and having it serviced and brand new tires. Filling the cabinet with the hard to find sort of expensive dog treats, etc. I had a big floral arrangement sent to her on their anniversary day, signing the card "I'm always with you." And threatened the floral shop with life and limb to not tell who came in and paid for it. She was so happy. She thinks he thought of it and really it was me. I'll never tell. You are a beautiful human. A few years ago I was out with a friend at a restaurant celebrating, and he feels super awkward about having stuff paid for him. So he asked us all not to pay for his dinner. I gave the waiter my card and told her to tell him that his dinner was on the house because it was his birthday. He believed it and keeps raving about how that restaurant has great service now. He still doesn't know it was me, but it makes me smile every time he talks about how much he likes the restaurant. Awkward for everyone else going there on their birthday. Oh man, that had never occurred to me XD. I live in a village that is like 80% old people, meaning they can't walk up to the church and see their loved ones' graves very often. Once a month I go into the graveyard and clean all the graves and make sure they have fresh flowers on them and they look nice. I got caught once by an elderly lady who has since died. I take extra time on hers because she was just so sweet. Why am I crying? I'm not crying, you're crying. My boyfriend tends to grind his teeth at night during his deepest sleep cycles, or when he's having a stressful dream, to help lull him out of the dream and get him to relax, so he doesn't wake up with a sore jaw. I start rubbing his arm, gently call out his name, and in an overly loving whisper say things like, "I love you, you're the best, I'm right here, you're my guy." And then I ask him very politely to please stop grinding his teeth. He always responds with happy murmurs, even though he's dead asleep, and then calms down enough where he stops grinding and drifts back off without ever actually waking up. He generally has no idea I do this, and I just smile to myself when he wakes the following day remarking how great he slept. I'm so trying this. My boyfriend grinds his teeth and shouts in his sleep a lot. I never thought the two were related. Your boyfriend shouts in his sleep? OMG. In our house we have a safe. In the safe there is an envelope of our online accounts and PW in case one of us dies. One of the notes has instructions to an email account my wife doesn't know. If she accesses the account, she'll find hundreds of love letters or love emails to her. This is so beautiful. I want to be a dad. I want that more than any career goal I've ever made. Even though that hasn't happened yet, I've had the opportunity to adopt college kids in my town, teaching them to dance, helping them figure out dating, making them tea, teaching them games, and talking through all sorts of life with them. I get to laugh with them, and I get to cry with them, and I make them better off when they return to their families. One of them carved me a walking stick with a beautiful small bird whittled into the handle. I almost started crying as he said the words, "Happy Father's Day. You're a good dad." I put together a surprise Christmas for my sister, her husband, and their 5 kids about a decade ago, after finding out they didn't have any money for presents due to emergency expenses. Dropped off family presents for the 12 days prior to the holiday, coats one night, a big dinner one night, hot chocolate kits, etc. And once my then husband's ridiculously rich family found out what I was doing, they joined the cause. By Christmas Eve we had about $4K in presents ranging from clothes, to toys, to Home Depot gift cards to drop off. Hired a Santa lookalike to ring the doorbell at 10 p.m. and drop the toys off for us. He also ended up giving them $500 of his own money. She still has no idea who was behind it to this day, and I hope she never finds out. She and her now grown kids still talk about the magic Christmas Santa visited us. This is so sweet, and the fact that the Santa gave $500 of his own money makes me believe he really was Santa. I love you and everyone involved in this. I'm convinced he was the real deal. My mom divorced my abusive father when I was 10. She was going through a hard time. sleepwalking and doing weird stuff. I would wake up and bring her back to bed. One night, I got up out of bed to check on her. She was sleeping peacefully, so I just stood there and watched her. Then I kissed her on the cheek and went back to bed. Years later, I overheard her telling a friend about that rough time in her life, and how one night, she felt like she was kissed by an angel and finally found peace. I guess I was her angel. This is so precious. I'm the person secretly sending the flowers the elderly ladies at the nursing home once a month. They deserve it and are the sweetest things. You're an angel. When I was very young, I was told all dogs had very good hearing, so whenever I saw one in public, I would whisper how good they are. This is the cutest one. Every now and then, when I find cool looking trees, I'll give them a pat. Wait, a tree, my arboreal friend. Maybe it was very dumb and slightly creepy of me, but back in 7th grade I would follow a lot of PPL from school on Instagram, and often I would see that some classmates and friends were depressed or just going through a rough time, so I would write them a letter with some encouraging words and put in like $10 from the money I had saved up through the years and tell them to buy something nice with it. I would watch them during school to see what their locker was and sneak out during class to go to the restroom and put the letter in their locker. This is so fucking sweet. Thank you for being you. You probably saved some lives with your kindness. In high school, I started a compliments page for my school on Facebook. People would write in compliments about each other, and I'd post them anonymously. I was deeply depressed and wanted to make a positive impact in my community when I felt really powerless. I never told anyone who was behind it, but knowing the kindness people showed their friends and classmates was really special and solidified my faith in humanity when I was at a real low point in my life. This is beautiful. I tell each of my pets I love them and good night before we go to sleep. I whisper it in their ears when they are mad at me, so that they can't stay mad. Does it work? Due to a complicated inside joke among my friends, I run a meme account on Instagram called great_blow_heron. It's literally just an account my friends follow where I post low effort memes about herons, complete with a heron profile picture. For some reason though, every few days random wildlife photographers will tag the account in pictures they take of great blue herons. I've never told anyone this, but while I started liking and commenting on all the posts, usually complimenting them on their photography skills, it's nice to think that my obscure shitposting account can brighten someone's day with a little chaotic energy. I see you got my good side. I really look pretty majestic in this picture, eh? I like paying the checks anonymously for couples dining out. This is absolutely one of my top 5 things I'd do if I was wealthy. Apparently, being a very capable yak is lucrative. You might want to consider going to yak college. I have more videos of my friends laughing and just being generally happy saved than I have of anything else. Yeah, I do that too. I then send the vids to them on their birthdays. I'm about 14 years older than my sister, who's going to be a junior in high school in the fall. She's extremely smart and has been taking classes for college credits in 8th grade. She's already being scouted by recruiters from some of the best schools in the country, including MIT and Cornell. She doesn't know it yet, but wherever she chooses to go to school, it's already paid for. I set up a trust fund to give her a full college education with no debt. Is this a r/rim job Steve situation? Yes it is. Literally every single thing I do in my life is to make my nana proud. It's honestly the one thing I genuinely care about. She's the reason I went to college, the reason I worked hard to get a good job, the reason I lost the weight and took back control of my health. All for her. My life is wonderful because of her. I hooked up my friend with his crush without both of them knowing. They are going now 3 years strong. They know by now. I keep a list of things that I observe people I love enjoying or wanting, so I know what to get them for Christmas/birthday presents. I watch my stepmother streams and talk to her. She doesn't know it's me, and she always gets excited when viewers talk to her. r/harlop. I randomly ask politicians how their day is on Twitter. I never get replies. That's so rude of their aides. I was walking home from my bus stop when I saw this old lady being super careful crossing a shortcut that goes through some houses. It was winter, and there was snow and ice on the ground. She looked like she was struggling, and it also looked dangerous, because she seemed fragile in a way. I immediately offered my help and she accepted. I held her hand, and walked slowly through the shortcut. Then I asked where does she plan to go. She told me she was going to the bus stop, so I helped her reach all the way there. I don't know why, but I asked where she was going, and she told me to the nearest Walmart. So I also offered my help. She then accepted my offer, which I was not expecting, and I ended up doing groceries with her, and walking her home. She was a very sweet lady and calm. That little trip made me feel really good for a whole month. And I still remember now and then about it, and it makes me smile a bit. At the time, I remember thinking about asking why is she doing groceries at her age. I was really curious, but I held back. I always wonder. I'm in the process of designing my girlfriend's engagement ring so that I can propose to her this fall. She has no idea I've been talking to a silversmith, and I can't wait to ask her to be my wife. Congratulations and good luck. It sounds amazing. As an internet stranger, I'm so happy for you. I won't share this with anyone, but once I was at a diner that had one of those grapple arcade machines. I saw two little girls trying to get an Elsa stuffed figure, and they ended up losing their money trying to get it. So I called them over and said I would win it for them. Once I said it, I was scared, cause I realized I promised something that I couldn't do, but I got super lucky and got it first try. I gave it to the girls. It made their day, and their smiles made mine. Moral of the story, little things like that can make a big difference. So go make someone's day, That happened to me once, when I was like 5. But I still remember how happy that little stuffed bear made me. I even remember the guy's Letterman jacket being red and his girlfriend put one of those temporary tattoo things on my hand. Little stuff like that sticks with you when you're young. It was my first clear memory of a complete stranger being selfless and kind to me. So I have no doubts those girls will remember you. Every year my school did thing where you could buy someone a chocolate rose on Valentine's Day and choose to remain anonymous. They were like $10 and really crummy, but every year I'd say what I could and buy the people I thought were least likely to get one a rose, so they had a good day. I knew she was the one when stories. I like to envision my future husband telling a story like that someday, that hopefully doesn't begin with seeing me drunk and getting tased by 5 cops. Plot twist. Your future husband will turn out to be one of the cops who was tasing you. I knew she was the one by how elegantly she twitched on the floor. This made my day. Take my broke ass metal.